Strong women in our community are building each other up in every way possible right now. And here to tell us how Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento is bringing together hundreds of women from all walks of life is Director of Development, Lane Himmelman. Hi, Lane.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
So tell us how Habitat for Humanity has had to change up some of their efforts during quarantine.
Sure, yeah. So it's COVID has hit everybody hard, and Habitat's no exception. Back in March, when shelter-in-place first happened, we had to shut down our restore, which is kind of like a Home Depot meets Goodwill. It helps support our operating costs, like staff and rent. And so when that closed down, it meant furloughing temporarily 90% of our staff and closing all of our job sites, our new home builds for low-income families, as well as our home repair projects for low-income seniors and veterans to help them avoid displacement. So it was a really, really challenging time, but we dug in our heels, we built back, we've got our team back, the store's back open, and all of our sites are active. And so our Women Build is, one of the ways that we bring the community together. Every year we typically have, last year, 400 women that participated, helping to build a stronger community. And typically it takes place on our construction sites, but because of COVID, we've not only been hit hard financially in that we can't host our typical fundraising events, the restore income has taken a dip, but also we're working with less than 10% of our usual volunteer labor force because 90% of the construction done on Habitat Home is done by women.
Wow.
Or done by volunteers, I should say. And so with our Women Build, we decided this year to take it virtual, to be safe with COVID, and the theme of it is keep building.
Okay.
Because even though things are challenging now, people need a safe, decent home more than ever. And so we are bringing the women together in a creative virtual platform so that we can keep building homes and keep building hope in our region.
So what's going to happen at this virtual event, and do people have to register to take part?
Yes, they do have to register. So you can register online at www.habitatgreatersac.org/womenbuild. And it is free to register. We really wanted to make this a very inclusive event. And then there are also some higher registration tiers that include some cool things. So if you register above the free level at the $25 level, you actually will get your name written on a 2x4 on the Habitat home that Women Build is helping support, and that's for a single mom named Anna.
Oh, very cool. And obviously, if you're part of it, you'll learn more about it. Where exactly, you're talking about the funds that you're trying to raise so they can go, you get your name on a 2x4. What else are the funds used for?
Sure. So they'll be used for Anna's project, and they'll also be used for future Habitat projects. We have a 13-home development that's been put on hold because of COVID financial impact, and that's a project that will house 60 low-income individuals, including up to 40 children. So funds will go to support Anna's house that's currently in progress so that we can keep building it and finish it in the next couple months, as well as help us provide some seed funding for the first phase of that 13-home development. And I know you asked too what will be going on at this event. So there will be some really powerful testimonials. You'll get to hear from Anna and some of our other families who Women Build is helping support. There'll be a silent auction with some really cool stuff. You'll hear from our sponsors. This year's Women Build is powered by SMUD and lots of other amazing community partners and women-owned businesses. And you'll also hear from some really powerful women leaders. The Lieutenant Governor Eleni will be speaking, as well as some other just phenomenal women. So it'll be a really cool event.
And very nice. And for people who aren't aware of exactly what Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento does, what is it that you do when you're serving the people in the community?
Sure. So we are a nonprofit construction company, and we focus on bringing people together to build hope homes and community. And so we help build homes and provide home ownership opportunities for low-income families who are often working 2 or 3 minimum wage jobs, living in substandard conditions. Right now, you see a lot of families that are barely scraping by just to pay rent and maybe working 3 jobs and 8 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Anna, whose house will be helping build, she has an 18-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter. She works 2 jobs full-time, one at a dental office and then at night as a janitor, and also has been putting in her 500 hours to build her Habitat, which is required. And she lives in a 2-bedroom apartment. Her kids that are 18 and 13.
So she could really use the help, and it sounds like she's putting in a lot of work herself. I love the pink hats. I love the hard hats, the pink ones, and the pink shirts. Thanks so much for coming on today, Lane. And to get involved, you can visit habitatgreatersac.org. And we want to thank you for joining us today on Your California Life. You can join us right